the phone line up. It just made it like $20 cheaper to have the bundle with a phone line I never used. And then that went away, like it cheaper to get rid of the phone line. Then I 86 the phone line. So I can't remember the last time I had the old quote landline. I remember in the olden days with the landline, they had the click over feature. I'd be talking to my dad and I'd be like, hang on, Dad, I got to click over. No, don't do that. He did not get it. You would call and it would be busy. It still exists. Call my parents' house. Still exists. Not anymore. Got rid of the old landline. No, I shouldn't say a thing. My mommy still has the landline, the original number from probably the 60s. A phone number that's probably about 60 years old now. Same number. Got a good one lined up, like I said, on this Tuesday afternoon. Community leaders have been talking about this for a while now, especially since the New Year terrorist attack, making Bourbon Street a pedestrian mall. I think they're thinking about it the right way. They're going about it the right way. The guy they brought in from New York and kind of, it's easy, I think, to be, area that's out in the open, easily hit, needs to be protected. Pedestrian mall would be a great solution. And then you have to apply. Okay, it's a real city. The French Quarter is a New Orleans neighborhood city entity first, a New Orleans neighborhood first, and then a tourist attraction second. So the streets and the sidewalks, all that has to function. So you've got to take that into consideration. They're talking about maybe nighttime as a pedestrian mall into early morning, which would like right past midnight, a few hours. And then it would only be blocks at a time. You'd still have the side streets passing through. You have to have that. And then I'm going to make a big assumption here. If you're a resident, you have a late night flight, you come into the city in your own car that you could somehow plan ahead to have someone there to remove a few bollards for you to be able to hit that one block and pull into your driveway. Still some residences with driveways on Bourbon Street. Anyway, community leaders considering making Bourbon Street maybe late at night in the early pedestrian mall. 766-9480. 766-9480. President Trump yesterday, this is pretty interesting. I was listening to the audio about the $5.8 billion steel plant that's going about 40 miles upriver. Nearly $6 billion Hyundai steel plant. They're going to produce a lot of steel, state-of-the-art, brand new facility, and they're going to use it for not only Hyundai and Kia they own, but sell to Ford, GM, anyone building cars in the United States that wants their steel. No, Trump talked about it. Brand new steel plant in Louisiana, creating 1,400 jobs. And then there'll be major expansion after that. Like, I haven't heard any of that part. So if it's a $5.8 billion steel plant, and it's like the LNG facility over on the West Bank, where, they've got $22 billion already in the facility. This $22 billion facility, which hasn't opened yet. It's still under construction. They've already announced an $18 billion expansion. It's going to be like a $40 billion LNG terminal right down in Myrtle Grove, at 20 miles south of the city on the West Bank. No, if it's going to be like that, a $5.8 billion Hyundai steel plant that employs 1,400, and now we're going to invest another $4 billion and, double the size and employ 2,500. Who would be against that? Who would be against that? That's what Trump said. Now, it's Donald Trump saying it, so it could be real. It could be Trump saying things that aren't real, that aren't true. And I'm not dogging the president. God, if you voted for him and you like him, you have to acknowledge that. But he said, a brand new steel plant in Louisiana, creating 1,400 jobs, and then there'll be major expansion after that. I'm not being greedy. I just hope the president's, knew what he was talking about when he said that and wasn't just, bigger than it already is. I mean, $6 billion steel plant for Louisiana, grand slam home run. Grand slam home run. Corey Johnson with you. On a Tuesday afternoon, Ukraine, Russia agree to stop fighting in the Black Sea, ensuring safe navigation in that waterway. That's a plus. Top officials warn of, quote, coordinated attacks on Tesla. Intelligence says otherwise, lone actors. I think it's lone actors. I don't think there's a bunch of people getting together. There could be small groups. I don't think the nationwide deal is any group thing, but there's no excuse for this damaging or destroying property, a private citizen's property. I mean, it has nothing to do with Elon Musk except someone just one of his products. No, those people that damage or destroy a Tesla vehicle anywhere, someone's house, they're on the street, at a car lot, wherever it might be. No, they should go to jail. They should go to jail. I don't see how any of that can be acceptable, no matter anything Elon Musk does, practically. Now, I shouldn't even say practically. Anything he does. He could be Adolf Hitler. Someone purchases that vehicle. They've owned it for years. We discover something terrible about him. You don't go. I don't understand that thinking at all. You're ticked off at Elon Musk. You don't like Trump, whatever. You're going to go destroy somebody's car? Track and field folks, the governing body around the world, approved cheek swabs for track and field athletes to check for that Y chromosome, which is only found in males. They don't want transgender females running track. That's so obvious. Transgender male, compete with males all day, every day. Transgender females, no, you don't compete against females when you were physically born as a male. I have no problem with anyone transitioning over. I mean, I figure if that's what you're going to do, I mean, Bruce Jenner to Caitlyn Jenner, I mean, that's how that person feels. Who am I to judge them? Go for it. But you can't compete with women in sports anymore, in high school, college, Olympics. You want to have co-ed, you want to have trans league or something like that, no problem. Co-ed, no problem. But this one's, I think the track and field governing body's got it down right. This is that kind of woke, crazy stuff that those folks don't have down right. Why, Democrats lose a lot of elections. Republicans keep it simple, and Democrats are worrying about jail that want a sex change operation. It's nutty. Hey, if you need AC or heat help, Total Maintenance is there for you. I love Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys. Been going with those cats for about 20 plus years, have become good friends with Lucas because he's just a good guy. He's got integrity, pride, honor, incapable of screwing you around. He's honest. His crew, air conditioning and heating experts, diagnosing it right the first time. And they come immediately. In New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, AC or heat help, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. TM-AC.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans some. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gb.com. The Grand Victorian.
The Woodhouse Bar. with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave me at insagency.com. Dave me at Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood. 9. Dave me at insagency.com.
Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 81 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. That don't paint. Well, that's paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint, to get the best, you gotta go to You Right.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing. Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest right here in New Orleans, with precision engineered prescription lenses. Gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxford, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
Okay. Family of companies located in Harahan, Interlocks changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right. That sounded like Sonny Landreth from Lafayette, Louisiana. Eric Clapton called him the best guitarist in the world. Like, Eric Clapton's like, I'm not even in that same category as Sonny Landreth. Go to YouTube and put in the old search bar, Sonny Landreth. It'll pull up some stuff the guy can play. He like fills in the gaps. It's like he's playing the lead guitar and then where there'd be like a rhythm guitar in the background or a gap where he's waiting to play again for a second or two. He fills in that little gap. Pretty amazing. Check it out. Check out Katie's in Mid-City, Iberville Corner, Tallahassee. Outdoor dining. They're eating outside right now at Katie's in Mid-City. Iberville Corner, Tallahassee, a true taste of New Orleans. And you never know what Scott Craig has over there at Katie's. Could be shell crabs, flounder, snapper, pompano. Katie's as New Orleans as it gets. Another gorgeous day. Get outside and enjoy it. Daylight for another 3 hours plus. And the days continue to grow for like the next 2 months. Gotta like that. Speaking of the next 2 months, things heating up, summertime coming. Things are going to heat up for this mayor's race. Is it a two-person race? Helena Moreno appears to be the favorite. Oliver Thomas, right on Helena Moreno's tail. And then there's everybody else. Judge Hunter has slipped in the race. And then there's some lesser-known candidates. I can relate to this. I ran for council at large in 2007, a while back, almost 20 years ago. Wow. It was a bunch of named politicians and me. I mean, I had the television radio thing going, but I had no politician or political clout. I think the same applies to Ricky Twigs Jr. He's a New Orleans mayoral candidate, a minor candidate. Ricky joins us live on the program. How are you, Ricky?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. Take any offense to what I just said or accurate?
Oh, no offense taken whatsoever. I think that I'd rather be the underdog than the top dog.
How do you get from being an unknown to just being known?
Absolutely. I think it is having a consistent message. And what I would also say is that not only do you have to have a consistent message, you have to have a plan that's action-oriented. I think those will create the ripple effect necessary to go from the top dog within the time frame that we have left.
What is your consistent action-oriented plan, Ricky?
Absolutely. So the consistent action-oriented plan, I think, focuses primarily around getting in front of the people of New Orleans and having a message that is consistent, having an open door policy. Anyone that wants to meet, I have gladly met with them. I put myself in front of everyone that I possibly can, and I think that is the way to win this race. We have seen it time and time again where candidates have massive war chests and it doesn't seem to be effective in the end. And I believe that same situation will happen here.
Yeah, Helena Moreno's got north of $1 million. Oliver
That's
Thomas
accurate.
has a couple of 100,000 plus. What does
Yes,
Ricky Twigs Jr.'s war chest look like?
Yeah, is that I'm primarily self-funding. I've talked with a great many consultants, though. They want to open up the ability to accept donations. So we have done so. But primarily it is by me. And I can compete if necessary.
Hey, why are you running, Ricky? What made you decide? Let me ask you this first. What do you do for a living presently? And why are you running for mayor, city of New Orleans?
Great question. Presently, I'm a licensed professional counselor. I work with teenagers throughout the city of New Orleans. And what has inspired me to run is that I think from what I have observed and from what I have seen is that New Orleans is looking for something different. Every single person that I have talked to throughout the city and surrounding areas have said that they want somebody different than what the political machine has. And I remember this famous JFK quote, and he said, "If not us, who? If not now, when?" And I believe it's time for someone to stand up and to push back against the political machine and to do, and that's exactly why I'm running for mayor.
What's your platform of?
Absolutely. So the platform is built upon four tiers, essentially, or four major domains. The first one is education and teacher reform. The second one is mental health and medical health reform. The next one is anti-corruption and crime reform. And the fourth one is job creation and infrastructure development. I think those four pillars are going to be crucial and for whoever wins the mayor race coming up. Those four domains or pillars are not hit, we're going to have a very difficult time growing as a city.
Hey, what would be a reform to education that you would implement?
Absolutely. So I think for me, we have to look at how the school board in its totality. Many other cities have gone the route of having mayoral power over the school board. And I think that is a radical change, but very one as well. So I would look into something along those lines. That would probably be the first area to look at.
We're visiting with Ricky Twigs Jr. He's running for mayor, city of New Orleans. What would be some medical reform?
Absolutely. I think for the biggest thing with mental health and medical is that we have got to get on board with the creation of a dedicated behavioral health hospital that works on treating teens, that works on treating domain. We've got alleviating the stress of emergency rooms in the city of New Orleans with mental health crisis. We have to have an area or a pipeline for people experiencing mental health crisis to go. And we have to have the beds for them. Right now, we're short probably, and this is no exaggeration, we're probably short between 600 and 1,000 beds in the city of New Orleans. We've got to create a behavioral health hospital. So that's one of those things that I'm going to be looking at as well.
How are you going to create jobs as mayor, city of New Orleans?
Yes. So jobs is a big deal. We have got to open up our city for jobs. One of the most ambitious parts that I have in my platform is that I want to have 41,000 jobs created in the first 4 years. And those 41,000 jobs are going to be focused within infrastructure development, construction, within public works. I want to put New Orleans to work. We have got to get moving. We have got to put our people to work. We are losing our residents due to, number one, things are very expensive, lack of work. And when you have those two things together, nobody's going to stay. So we have got to radically change how we conduct business in the city. So that's one of those areas that I want to hit. So 41,000 jobs created in the first 4 years. And we do that by bringing business here, by opening up the floodgates to the business world and attracting businesses that have been wanting to come here for a very long time, but for whatever reason, don't. A lot of that is due to tax breaks not being honored. And I want to make sure that we are attracting the correct businesses to come here and that we're honoring the tax breaks as well.
Ricky, you don't have any political experience, right?
I do not.
No,
sir.
That'd probably be a plus. What makes you think you can be successful as mayor? Even if everything your platform, let's just say everything your platform's right on the money.
Sure.
And I'm not saying it is or isn't, but let's say it is. What makes you think you'll be successful being able to implement these things being, embraced?
Yeah. Well, I think that it's true for every New Orleanian, like no matter where we live in New Orleans, no matter our religion or anything like that we want our children to have the best opportunities going forward. And I think that's something that we can all agree on, is that we have had a history of failing our children. And we've got to do something to change that entire thing. So I believe that I will be successful because we're going to pour children.
Hey, Ricky, how can folks find more about your mayoral campaign?
Absolutely. You can find out more on my website, twigsformayor.com. That's TWIGGS for mayor.com. I have my entire platform on there. I also have the first 100 days and the transition plan available for anyone to read, critique, feedback, and like I said, I am open to meeting with anyone
Nice.
that is willing to talk. I do not know everything, and I am looking to become the most experienced citizen candidate, so to speak, in this process. I want to be the people's candidate, and I believe that everything that we have built, my campaign team, myself, that we have everything that we need to win this race, and that will come out as more time goes on.
What's the website again, Ricky?
It's twigsformayor.com. Again, that's TWIGGS.
Ricky, thanks for the time this afternoon. Best of luck.
Thank you so much, Boy. I appreciate it.
That's Ricky Twigs Jr. running for mayor, City of New Orleans. Corey Johnson with you on a gorgeous Tuesday. Coming right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. And it handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Outdoor dining, Middle East trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Look to the Latrim family of companies located. Latrim Company changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our success, that's LAITRAM.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home, and right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Prepared with experience, depth, knowledge, and a history in the game. Corey Johnson.
Years later, a doctor will tell me that I have an IQ of 48.
I am the smartest man alive!
Which one is it? IQ of 48 or smartest man alive? There's a large disparity between that. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon, 79 degrees, mostly sunny. Or, yeah, you right weather. Gotta love that. Community leaders considering Bourbon Street becoming a pedestrian mall, maybe at night and early morning. And when they mean early morning, not 6 a.m., like past midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., like nighttime. And the side streets would still, you could still traverse those up and down from the river to Rampart. They would just have bollards within each block. And maybe only through Orleans to maybe like St. Anne, something like that, a little bit of halfway down Bourbon. That second half of Bourbon towards Esplanade, a little less dense packed with businesses and, kind of the crappy stuff like the strip joints and daiquiri shops and trinket stores. It becomes a little more residential. My deal, my take, we need to reimagine Bourbon Street. It's a toilet. There's a reason locals don't go down there. It sucks. It sucks. And if we reinvented it, reimagined it, Fox would still go down there to do their Super Bowl pregame, and there'd still be massive crowds. It'd just be a lot plusher and nicer. I'm all for the lemon scent, but it wouldn't be all that needed because it wouldn't be strip joints, trinket shops, and daiquiri shops. It'd be more art galleries and high-end restaurants and jazz clubs and outdoor dining and things of that nature. And then such a great street, it would complement Royal. Right now, Royal at like 6 p.m., they put fencing over the windows, over the doors to protect them from drunks throwing bottles through the glass, You have a reimagined Bourbon Street, the side streets linking Bourbon and Royal would light up. Royal would be lit up. They'd be selling antiques at midnight. A higher level of tourists, a higher end tourists. Some of you folks are like, God, Corey's trying to make it for the rich and the wealthy. Yeah. Why not? Because right now it's for just the average Joe. Joe and Sally pull up in their truck, they park, they walk to Bourbon Street, they get a couple of daiquiris, they walk up and down the street for a few hours and they leave. Joe's investment was $23. Sally's was $17. We got to do better than that. I want somebody buying an armoire, an antique, furniture, eating at a jazz club, an expensive ticket. Where we go down there, it's a special event. I'm like most people, I'm a middle-class guy. I can't go down to, Commanders or Bayonne or Irene's or Brightson's or Le Petit Grocery or Clancy's every night. But I can go sometimes. And I'm not married. I don't have kids, so I don't have tuition to pay. My life's a little different than someone who's married with kids. But still, even with that, I can't afford this stuff all the time. I want it, though. It's like English Turn. I can't afford to live at English Turn, but when they want to build apartments right next door to English Turn, where there's all this land all over Woodlawn, Woodlake, whatever that street is on the West Bank, Woodlawn, I forget what it is, that leads right by English Turn. There's so much land all up and down there in Orleans Parish, Belle Chase. Build apartments somewhere else. Why do you build them by the high-end gated community that I can't afford to live in? Let's keep some nice high-end gated stuff. It's not about snob or protecting rich or whatever. We got enough blight and poor. We got enough average stuff. If we got nice stuff, let's not ruin it by putting something average or below average next to it. It's pretty simple. Community leaders considering making Bourbon Street a pedestrian mall at night in the early morning, like 1, 2 a.m. kind of thing. Donald Trump yesterday with Jeff Landry at the White House. This is great news. We'll talk more about it. We talked about this a month ago with Michael Hecht when it was pretty much official, but the official announcement at the White House made it big news yesterday with the Hyundai people, President Trump, Governor Landry. Donald Trump said a brand new steel plant in Louisiana creating 1,400 jobs. And then there'll be major expansion after that. Now, I'd like to say I'm holding the president at his word. It could be true. It could be Trump talking the truth. And it could be Trump talk, which equals BS, just nonsense, just babbling, just, we're taking Greenland, stuff like that. Greenland invited the United States, group contingency to go to Greenland. Greenland's like, no, we didn't. We don't mind that they're coming. We'll talk to them, but we did not invite them. So you don't know what's real or what's Trump talk. I'm hoping it's real. And then there'll be major expansion after that. I was blown away by the LNG facility. I just mentioned it last segment. $22 billion facility, one of the largest private investments in the world, right on the West Bank. Like ants on a sugar cube. Hundreds, if not north of 1,000 construction workers on that thing all the time. They haven't even opened it yet, haven't even cut the ribbon to start production. And they've announced an $18 billion expansion, nearly doubling the size of the thing. So when Trump says there'll be major expansion after that, talking about the Hyundai steel plant, yeah, greedy Corey's like, yeah, bring it on. I'll take it. We need it. We need it. Big economic wins by Governor Jeff Landry. You can like Jeff Landry. You can dislike him. You can say it was in the pipeline before he got in. You can say it's all on him, whatever. I've never seen a governor in my lifetime where these kind of major jobs, billion-dollar announcements, and it's, we're later in time. I don't remember hundreds of millions of dollar announcements. Hell, tens of $1 million announcements. I don't remember multiple economic wins like this that Jeff Landry's putting together. And who knows what we're going to reap from the Super Bowl. That big tent in the whale lot by the Hilton with all the, CEOs and what do they call the big 7 tech companies, the Super 7 or whatever they are. I forget what they call them. They were all there talking to Governor Landry. So who knows what that bleeds to. Now, we're going to have a very interesting chat with Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. on Friday. Hey, if you missed the beginning of the program, you missed a chat with Ricky Twigs Jr. He's running for mayor. I got Oliver Thomas on. I'm going to get Helena Moreno on. Going to try to get some of the minor players as well. And anyone that's running for any office, always welcome to call the program. 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, speaking of that phone number, I've got a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Yeah, you right. Name 2 New Orleans East malls that ain't dare no more. Ain't dare no more. Would dare be spelled D-E-R-E? I think so. Or is it D-A-R-E? I think it's D-E-R-E. Ain't dare no more. Name 2 New Orleans East malls that no longer exist. Ain't there no more. 2 New Orleans East malls that no longer exist. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. You got the answer. I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore in Baton Rouge. It's the area's premier day spa experience. No one else even comes close. It's plush. It's luxurious. It's like a private club. Beautiful thing is, no club membership, open to everybody, open to the general public. You got to like that. Name 2 New Orleans East malls that are no longer around. 766-9480. 766-9480. Miss Peaches knows the answer to this one. New Orleans' oldest modern skyscraper. New Orleans' oldest modern skyscraper, 766-9480. Oh, boy, I can't even read my own writing, Miss Peaches. Isn't that terrible? Why are there 6 lanes of interstate quality roadway under Caesars Casino? Why are there 6 lanes of interstate quality roadway under Caesars Casino? I've got another question or two out there. But first, Jordan joins us on the program. What up, Jordan? Jordan, are you there?
I'm here, brother. I'm here.
Yeah, you're right. What up, dudes?
Oh, man, just trying to get through the day.
It is. What do you do for a living, Jordan? You don't have to get into specific company names if you don't want to, but what do you do for a living?
work with the movies.
Oh, wow. There you go. Nice. Sweet.
It's slow motion out here right now.
Yeah. Hopefully it starts picking up.
Yeah, brother.
Yep. So what's on your mind?
Well, you want to know about that Kenilworth Mall at Lake Forest Plaza? That's
Holy
what you want to know about.
Kaboom goes the dynamite. Yeah, you right.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
You don't mess around, Jordan. The old Kenilworth and the Plaza. You just nailed them back to back.
Yes, sir.
Yep, I used to go to the Kenilworth Mall. They had the theater out there, the Burger King, Como Furniture, and then the Plaza, had a bunch of good Chick-fil-A back in 1975.
Yes, indeed.
I think it was the first Chick-fil-A outside of Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, way back in 75. Ice skating rink. Excellent work. Can you hang on, Jordan?
Sure will. Thank you, Coach.
No, thank you, man. Thanks for calling. I got 50 big bucks for Jordan. He's going to the Woodhouse, or his lady's going to the Woodhouse. Coming right back, New Orleans. Don't move.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
The Lamar Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks and models, and it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It can be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamar Automotive Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and good quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our books are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has goods we use each and every day by river, rig, no matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-881 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line. The Grand ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gv.com. The Grand Victorian.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. A dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. Harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Not a politician or part of a political machine. Corey Johnson.
I propose that I use what's left of the town treasury to move to a more prosperous town and run for mayor.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
That's a good plan. You can pull a Toy the Destroyer and loot the money. Remember, she pulled $1 million out of the Wisner Fund and put it into her own nonprofit. That was funny. Thank goodness Inspector General Ed Michel did a little audit on that and saw that and requested repayment. And the mayor paid the $1 million back, which is really interesting. Like, none of it was spent because the nonprofit's like a plane just circling the airport, never going to land until the mayor's no longer mayor. And then that plane would land and she'd be president of the nonprofit. And she would say, man, look, we got $1 million+ in our account. It makes it legitimate when she's going to ask for money. And she's got $1 million to spend on salaries and junkets and trips. My God, as mayor of New Orleans, where there's like some, and I stress, pseudo control over her trips a little. I mean, none at all. I don't know. There's a council. There's supposed to be some folks overlooking. She's running her own nonprofit. She's the inmate running the asylum 110%, which is almost the case as mayor. But no, she wrecked that one. And that was her gig post 15 minutes of fame. There's no job that the mayor goes to after this, being mayor, and then the company pays her X amount of money and she brings in more money than her salary. She's a benefit to the company. Name me a company or a job where that's applicable. It doesn't apply. There's nothing there. There's nothing for the mayor to do. She doesn't have any specialized degree. She's not an attorney. There's nowhere to go but down. And the nonprofit was the way to continue living off someone else's dime and not really working, not doing any kind of a job like she does as mayor. And that's all gone. Hey, Audubon gutters, that oak tree I planted in my yard a few years ago, taller than my house now, much less the bottom of the roof line by the gutters. So yeah, the oak leaves are going on the roof, and they'd normally be going into my gutters, but I've got brand new gutters installed back in October, Audubon gutters, and they've got the leaf guard system. Get it and forget it. Never, ever have to pay someone, or I'm not getting up on a ladder. Never have to clean your gutters again. Audubon gutters. They don't do paint. They don't do roofs. They don't do siding. They don't do windows. They're not some handyman operation. They're a gutter company. That's all they do. As a matter of fact, they're the Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company. New Orleans owned. For your home or business, Audubon Gutters for nearly 35 years. AudubonGutters.com. AudubonGutters.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. 5 o'clock powwow coming up. Got a slew of topics, including the ones we've already discussed. Plus, the Earhart Expressway has been open now for about 40 years, believe it or not. 40 years, little parts of it open. And then over the next 2 or 3 years, it expanded all the way to its existing run. I'm just curious, 40 years later, hey, any plans, Jefferson Parish or state of Louisiana, to hook up all those exits and entrances that are all up and down the Earhart Expressway? You may not notice them. Now, the next time you drive on it, think about, oh, wow, Corey was talking about all these entrances and exits. Where are they? All up and down the Earhart Expressway. And none of them have been implemented, especially like, how is there not a causeway entrance and exit at the Earhart Expressway? How can you not get on or off the Earhart Expressway at Causeway? Causeway. Just goes right over the Earhart. Like, it's not an important road. It's only Causeway Boulevard in Metairie. I mean, what you got in Metairie? You got Causeway, Clearview, Vets. I mean, it's one of the biggest roads in the entire parish. Full of commerce, full of residences, houses, apartments, condos, all of it, businesses. It's crazy. Just goes right over the Earhart like it's nothing, not even important. I'll give you an example of not one but two exits on the Earhart. You're coming into New Orleans. You're coming from Harran. You're almost in Orleans Parish. You're at the foot of that bridge that pulls you up. To the right is the Lowe's. To the left is Jesuit's little baseball field. Cold Storage Road. So right before you hit that bridge, that'll put you down in Holly Grove, in Orleans Parish proper. You'll see a little exit to the right, a little concrete exit with walls that goes about 20 yards before the bridge and then just ends in this overgrown, weed-infested, wooded area. That exit is supposed to go for a few hundred yards, go under the bridge to the left, hook into Cold Storage Road, essentially an airline highway exit off the Earhart. Could you imagine? You want to get to Airline. There's an exit right before that bridge to Holly Grove, to Orleans Parish. You go up on that bridge to Holly Grove, to Orleans Parish. On the right, on the upper deck of the bridge, there is an exit that would be a Claiborne Avenue exit right by the parish line, by the Lowe's. None of that's hooked up. There's a Cleary entrance to the Earhart right before Cleary, not hooked up. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, you get on the Earhart out in Elmwood, the next stop's Holly Grove. There's not another exit. You can't even exit to go to Oxnard. Like if you have to go to the emergency room, you go into Holly Grove, hook a U-turn so you can get off at Deckard to go to Oxnard. Just crazy. We'll talk about that in the 5 o'clock powwow and more, including some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Some goodies. Speaking of some goodies, it's 5 o'clock. Boy loves Trey Yen. Listen. Chinese food. It's Chinese cuisine. You're right, Blue Boy. You like the whole speckled trout or flounder with the tongue show sauce. Good choice. Indoor dining, to-go orders, curbside delivery. 25 minutes from Lakeside Mall at the foot of the Causeway in Mandeville, you North Shore folks. Wonderful Trey Yen tonight for dinner. 5 o'clock powwow next.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV. On Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be visit latrim.com. That's LAITRA.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting other than the Grand Victorian? Located in the garden on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. It's something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or the book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
My Situ, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. The finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason. Because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Prepared with experience, depth, knowledge, and a history in the game. Corey Johnson.
Years later, a doctor will tell me that I have an IQ of 48. I am the smartest man alive!
Yeah, you're right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday. Let's go to La Jolla and hook up with number 9, Mr. Drew Brees. Correctamundo. Thank you, Drew. It is indeed New Orleans, 5 o'clock powwow on a Tuesday. 78 degrees, mostly sunny. About 2.5 more hours of daylight, too. Get outside, enjoy it. Another gorgeous spring day in New Orleans. Lots of 60s and 70s for the foreseeable future. Some rain sprinkled in every few days, but lots of 60s and 70s for like the next week and a half. Enjoy it. Community leaders consider making Bourbon Street a pedestrian mall at night going into early morning. See where that goes. I think that's a livable plan, but you've got to have it where trucks and vehicles can traverse Bourbon Street during the day. People live on Bourbon Street. The French Quarter is a neighborhood first, tourist attraction second. Could you imagine if you lived in a house in the quarter on Bourbon Street? So we're just shutting down the street. It's pedestrian only. Well, where do I park now? And how do I get in my driveway? And who's bringing my groceries from the car to the house? Yesterday, we spoke about something we talked about a month ago, but more official when the president of the United States has the governor of Louisiana, the president of Hyundai. And they're announcing this nearly $6 billion steel mill, this steel plant about 40 miles upriver in Ascension Parish, south of Baton Rouge. No, great news. But I listened to Trump again, and I don't know how I missed it yesterday, but I was listening to the audio again today. A brand new steel plant in Louisiana, creating 1,400 jobs, and then there'll be major expansion after that. That's what President Trump said yesterday. Now, I don't go, hey, that's the president. I'm taking him at his word. It's President Trump. So there's the president saying things that he means, and then there's Trump talk where he's saying something to get through the moment, and maybe he feels it, he hopes it's true, he wants it to be true, but it's just Trump talk. It's not necessarily true at all. We're going to build a wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it. Just things like that. So a brand new steel plant in Louisiana, creating 1,400 jobs, and then there'll be major expansion after that. I'm hoping that's not Trump talk. I'm hoping that's real Donald Trump talking. Look, I'm happy for the $6 billion plan. But if it could be more expansion, like the LNG facility in Plaquemines, right on the West Bank of New Orleans, that's a $22 billion facility. They're in the middle of constructing the $22 billion facility. They've already announced an $18 billion expansion to a facility they haven't even cut the ribbon on. It's going to be $40 billion, the largest private investment in the world. So a $6 billion steel plant in Louisiana, and then there'll be major expansion after that. I'd like to see that. And I'm not criticizing the president. I'm just like, re-listen to it because was fired up about it. It was like, wow, that's an interesting little caveat. Top officials warn of coordinated attacks on Teslas. Like it's organized. Intelligence says otherwise, like lone actors. Either way, there's no excuse. You're damaging or destroying property, you go to jail. I don't give a crap about your message. Free speech, right to protest, all that is vitally important. I live it. I do a talk radio TV show with a lot of opinions every day. So I take the microphone, the camera seriously. There's a responsibility behind that. As a citizen protesting, there's a responsibility. You don't break the law. And folks said, I don't like Elon Musk, I don't like Trump, I'm going to go destroy somebody's Tesla that has nothing to do with that? Just insane. No, jail time. Jail time. Simple. Simple. Track and field, the track and field governing body, I should say, worldwide, they're going to approve cheek swabs for track athletes, for female track athletes. If a Y chromosome, meaning your male, pops up in that swab, you're not going to be able to run. Now, I've said this from day one. These are common sense things. It's sort of like gay marriage. I look back and I'm like, Barack Obama, like less than 20 years ago was anti-gay marriage. It's kind of mind-blowing. I was never anti-gay marriage. What do I care? I'm divorced. You want to go get married? Go for it. No, the transgender males play men's sports all day, all the time. I mean, if a woman, biologically female, transitions over, and I'm all for people transition. You want to do that? That's your choice. Go for it. Whatever makes you comfortable. Who am I to judge Caitlyn Jenner, any of those folks? It's not some trend. It's been happening forever. Just now it's up to another level, and it's more public. It's more public. So I'm not against transgender or anything, but transgender male wants to compete against men, go for it. I mean, biological female, born female that can compete against men, incredible. Men are physically stronger, generally speaking, than women. But women have proven they can hang with men in different sports. But transgender females, That's a biological male, born male. There are major genetic differences, even after hormones or whatever. So, no, I've never thought transgender females should be competing against females at any level, high school, college, Olympics, professional. Play on a co-ed team, create a transgender or co-ed team. I don't know what to say. It's unfortunate. The world's not fair, but that would be unfair. That would be unfair to all the women athletes, obviously. Hey, I mentioned it towards the end of last hour. The Earhart Expressway has been open for nearly 40 years. I mean, if you get on in Holly Grove, would you have a deck bar exit to go to Jefferson Highway by Oxnard, like a hospital exit? You've got a Cleary exit that puts you down on Airline by Cleary. You've got a Clearview exit that'll put you down Clearview towards Airline or Elmwood, and then it ends after that. So 4 exits from New Orleans going to Harahan. From Harahan coming to New Orleans, you get on at Hickory Dock, Mouse Clock, whatever it is out there. You got the Clearview exit, and then the next exit's Holly Grove. Can't even get off to go to the hospital. You want to go to Oxnard? You go to Holly Grove, hook a U-turn, and go back to Deck Bar. That'd be the quickest way, most likely. There are lots of entrances and exits to the Earhart Expressway, all up and down of the existing Earhart, that aren't connected and never have been. The thing's 40 years old. I mean, you want to know what I really think? Go with the original plan. Expand it down Airline to the airport, eventually to I-310, way out in the western side of the city. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to go all the way to the airport and then to the I-310. And then hook up all the entrances and exits. Okay, that's pipe dream crap, like going with the original plan. So at least these exits and entrances where you can literally see them all up and down the Earhart in both directions, hook them up already. What are you waiting for? All that does is more commerce, more money spent, people getting in and around the city quicker, more efficiently, being able to spend money. That's all that does. It was originally designed that way. Let's go with the original design. I don't get it. It's never been touched since they opened it. Not one entrance or exit that's there. You can see them they're built into it. And none of them have been hooked up. Crazy. I don't get it. Hey, speaking of Jefferson Highway, that's my Smoothie King. Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard. And then Jay and his dad, Smoothie King franchisees, they own a couple of Smoothie King locations. That one, my Smoothie King, Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard. And also the old Metairie Smoothie King, Airline at LeBar by Causeway. Not all Smoothie Kings are the same, far from it. Experience the best. Smoothie King, Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard. And the old Metairie Smoothie King, open late every night. Family oriented, bring the kids. Angel Food's a yummy treat for the kids. Smoothie King, Old Metairie, Airline at LeBar by Causeway. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour. Hey, I've got a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Remember this phone number. You're going to need it when we come back. 766-9480. 766-9480. You got a question or comment? Love to hear from you. You got an answer forthcoming? 766-9480. Coming right back.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building of flat screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. Your favorite teams. Make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Elm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick a big box, big mistake, because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Why? Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years. Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Through Sunday, Trey Yen.
Come experience best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive complex is something called quick lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Prepared with experience, depth, knowledge, and a history in the game. Corey Johnson.
Years later, a doctor will tell me that I have an IQ of 48. I am the smartest man alive!
Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. 5 o'clock power hour. Corey Johnson with you. Busting on Mario Brothers, day 2. He's leaving the facility now. Said enough of this. I'm not taking this grief. Let's hit the phone lines. 766-9480. It's Elwin in New Orleans. Elwin, how you been?
Well, I've been fine, man. I got to go through some knee surgery, but it'll be fine. I had another one done, but it did not go well. But they're gonna do another reduction.
Wow, there you go. Good luck with that, man. Knees are tricky. I got a little ailing left knee right now. I hope I don't need surgery or anything.
Yeah, I got the left knee. It's the left knee too. So we have something in common, both left knees.
What's happening, Elwin?
Let me ask you about the politician. Let me ask you about Trump, first of all. What do you think about Trump?
I think Trump is narcissistic, egomaniacal, self, fixated, no introspection, kind of a sociopath a little bit, Elwin, I would say.
I think he's an a-hole.
I hear you. I mean, a lot of people think that, and a lot of people like him. A lot of people like him. 49% of the country voted for him, and he certainly beat took all 7 swing states, beat the Democrats in their pathetic candidacy. Kamala Harris had no message. It was just about how Trump's horrible. I mean, the Democrats are lost. I mean, I didn't say anything nice about Trump, Elwin, but at least he had a plan, a commitment. His people backed him, and he won. So, yeah, you can dislike him. I'm not a fan of Trump. I didn't vote for either one. I didn't vote for Harris or Trump. I voted for the Green Party. I voted for Jill Stein, for crying out loud. I got to live with myself the rest of my life. I can't vote for Kamala Harris, and I can't vote for Donald Trump. That's just me, though, People that voted for Harris, people that voted for Trump, I hear you. Nothing against you.
Well, look, let me say it this way. He's going to hurt a lot of people. He messed with their Social Security. So he's going to hurt a lot of people.
Oh, no, you're right. Social Security, Medicare, you mess with that kind of stuff. You get this Doge, Elon Musk just swinging the axe and not thinking about it. We've already seen examples where they've had to go back and give the money back. That wasn't a good move. So, yeah, that when the people speak, Elwin, they'll jump.
Yeah. What do you think about Elon Musk?
I mean, I think he's like a kind of a super genius guy. He's creative. He's an incredible businessman. He's the richest man on the planet. I don't think you do that by, mistakes or by luck. But also, I think he's very eccentric, Ellen. I think he's got like a 12 or 13 kids. I mean, no one can be the father to a 12 or 13 kids if you're the richest man on earth and all you do is spend time with your kids. There's not enough hours in the day, days in the week, months in the year for you to raise 13 children properly as a parent, as a father. I don't care how tight the father and mother are, which they're not. They're multiple mothers, multiple kids, spread out all over. No, he's a mess. He's eccentric as hell, but richest man on earth. And
he's a mess.
And he employs tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people.
The politicians in this country are really bringing this country down. Let me say it this way. The money we send over to all them other countries to bomb and for war and stuff, I think we ought to put that in the Social Security, and Social Security would not have a problem. But that's me talking. That's me talking, and I'm just one man. But I do think if we stop sending money to all them other countries for war material and for bombs and to blow up people and to kill people, I think we would have enough money in there for Social Security.
Oh, we have enough money for Social Security and a lot of other things. But here's the deal. I mean, a lot of conservatives say that we need to quit being the policemen of the world. I disagree, because we are the policemen of the world to protect ourselves and to spread democracy around the world. That's why a lot of countries that are westernized now do very, very well. Some in some fields do a lot better than we do in the United States. So if we're not the policemen, Elwin, Iran, China, Russia, North Korea, they'll fill the void and be the policemen. And then they get to, reap the benefits of, that area growth or rebuilding or whatever. I mean, look at Ukraine. We're going to go in there. There's going to be American companies making billions of dollars rebuilding that country eventually. So, no, I hear what you're saying, but it's a tough balance.
That billions of dollars can go into Social Security, and Social Security wouldn't have a problem with it.
You're right. You're
But I'm
mentioning
saying-
Social Security exclusively. There's someone else out there going, it can go into roads and infrastructure in the country and bridges, and we won't have a problem. Someone else is saying we could put that money into ports, and we would create so many jobs and, bring back the economy. That wouldn't be a problem. I mean, there's lots of spokes on the wheel, Ellen, besides Social Security, and I'm not downplaying it. It's important to you. It's important to a lot of people, but I think there's a lot of spokes on the wheel.
Let me ask you this. It's not going to hurt them. It's going to hurt people like elderly people that's getting Social Security. It's not going to hurt the rich, because the rich is going to continue to make money.
Of course. I think,
It's the guy who's not making the money that the rich is making to support themselves and supporting their family.
Count on that check every month. You're totally right. The rich don't worry about Social Security check. That's just gravy. That's extra. Pay for, dog food or something with it. You're right. Rich and wealthy don't need it.
They don't have that problem. I mean, you got to look at it like this, okay? If we get somebody in there for the people, because I don't think Trump is for the people. Trump is for himself, and Elon Musk is for himself. But, I do think that if we get somebody in there for the people that will fight for the people, we can save Social Security.
Well, I don't think it's going to go away, Elwin. There's been this threat of Social Security going away for probably the last 20 or 30 years. I mean, I don't think it's on super stable footing where the fund is indefinite, but I think we'll find a way to keep that rolling, especially with people who have paid into it. Elwin, I'm glad you joined us. Don't be a stranger. Thanks for calling. That's Elwin. You can join us. 766-9480. That's how Elwin dialed us up. You can do the same thing. 766-9480. Hey, I got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Got some trivia questions. Already got one answered. How about New Orleans' oldest modern skyscraper? New Orleans' oldest modern skyscraper. 766-9480. What are the 6 lanes of interstate quality roadway doing under the Caesars Casino? Or why are there 6 lanes of interstate quality roadway under Caesars Casino? I'm not making that up. 766-9480. Hey, the largest bulk coffee facility in the world. The largest bulk coffee facility in the world, and one of the largest roasting facilities in the world. Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you. 766-9480. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, I got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. New Orleans' oldest modern skyscraper, 766-9480. Why are there 6 lanes of interstate quality roadway under Caesars Casino? 766-9480. The largest bulk coffee facility in the world and one of the largest roasting plants in the world. 766-9480. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Boy, we've got great weather. Lots of 60s and 70s for like the next week and a half. Knock out that paint project, inside or outside your home or business. Helm Paint and Decorating's there to help you. In New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating, quality Benjamin Moore paint, free 2-hour delivery. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating, 5 o'clock powwow on a Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. Community leaders talking about making Bourbon Street a pedestrian mall at night. Ukraine, Russia will stop any kind of fighting in the Black Sea, ensuring safe navigation Donald Trump yesterday talking about the steel plant in Louisiana, brand new steel plant in Louisiana, creating 1,400 jobs, and then there'll be major expansion after that. A quote from the president. Earhart Expressway, why are there no exits and entrances connected? Don't go damage a Tesla, or if you do, expect to go to jail. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell paint because paint ain't paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision engineered high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique.
New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce. And our country forward. For more than 100 NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway from Auction, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King. Hey, New Orleans, if you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate garden district on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building. Dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called quick lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
I bet his smells like sandalwood.
Corey Johnson.
He's absolutely magnificent.
Got to keep this up to 6. Wow. Boy, the LSU Lady Tigers yesterday, halftime 50-49. They led by a point against Florida State. Third quarter, women's basketball, it's quarters, not halves, like men in college. Third quarter, they outscored Florida State 30-6. Game over, 30-6. From a 1-point lead to 25-point lead. Just destroyed Florida State. Now, winning the national title is going to be a long shot, although USC lost their star player. And I think USC's in LSU's bracket.
Yeah, Juju Watkins.
I think in USC or UCLA in UCLA and
even if not, you would think you'd have to go through them.
Yeah, I think to get to the Final Four, I think they're in the LSU bracket, if I'm not mistaken. But if LSU wins the national title, we'll look back to that second half against Florida State as the reason. I mean, they just mauled Florida State 50-49. Both score a lot of points. Kim Mulkey goes in there at halftime, makes some serious changes, and just kicks Florida State's rear end. NC State up next. I think that is Friday, I want to say. I think it's Friday.
I believe so.
Let me check on that, Mario. It might be Thursday. They might do a Thursday-Saturday gimmick, actually, because Friday would be Friday and Sunday.
Oh, yeah, Friday at 6:30.
It is. It's Friday, 6:30 on ESPN.
Yes, sir.
6:30?
Mm-hmm. That might be Eastern time, but yeah, 6:30.
Well, no, I would say Central or Eastern. Wow. Okay, that's LSU, NC
No,
State.
it's Central time. Yeah, 6:30. LSU versus NC State. NC State's a 2 seed. LSU's a 3.
Yeah. NC State's a 2, LSU's a 3. Yet LSU's favored, I think, by like a point and a half or 2. So we'll see. Anyway, Kim Mulkey, my God. You want to know a great place to check out the NCAA tournament with like-minded fans having a good time? Tracy's. Legendary Tracy's in their new location, better than ever. Too many flat screens to count. They'll have every game on, men and women's. Magazine at Pleasant, plus the Pelicans. Great full-service kitchen. Legendary Tracy's, a great place to check out March Madness. Tracy's Magazine at Pleasant. Essentially catty corner from that Bromart grocery store between Washington and Louisiana. You make it Tracy's for the tourney. You won't be disappointed. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program, 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, you right. 78 degrees, mostly sunny. Lots of 60s and 70s over the next week and a half. Track and Field's governing body worldwide. They have approved cheek swabs, where they just run a Q-tip inside the mouth of a female track athlete looking for a Y chromosome in that test. A Y chromosome pops up. That female athlete was born male and transitioned over, and therefore is disqualified to compete against other women. Now, I don't get it, but I have some empathy. Like I'm straight. You know, I can't be gay. There's no way to brainwash me or make me gay. If I were, I'd tell you. If I were bisexual, I'd tell you. I'm straight. If I were gay, I hope I'd come out and embrace being gay. But I'm happy with who I am, and I don't have any desire to transition over. But someone that does, it's obviously that strong of a feeling. You think Caitlyn Jenner did that just for, poops and giggles for fun? And adults have surgical procedures done for fun. So you want to transition over. I get it. I fully get it. What I don't understand is a biological male that wants to be female and transitions over, how they don't get that they were biological male, and their brain and their soul and their heart saying, I'm female. I get that. Understand that you were born male and there's some physical advantages to women in sports especially. So transition over all day. You're a great athlete. You're a competitor. I get it. I mean, that college swimmer. He swam on men's college teams. He's good enough to swim college. He was ranked like 450th in America. He's number one swimming with women. I just don't get why that's such a problem. And I'm not talking about like have the transgender females compete against women. The opposite. The transgender female should realize I was born male, so my days of competing in high school, in definitely college, Olympics, professional, are done. They'll have to be a co-ed, pro team or a trans league because a male has physical advantages. You want to transition over to female? I'm all for it. Someone wants to transition from female to male? I'm all for it. Now, that's the dead opposite. Someone wants to transition from female to male? You're more than welcome to play male sports because the men have a physical advantage over you being born female and transitioning over to male. You make it in men's sports as a trans male, more power to you. Amazing. What an accomplishment. But it's the opposite. It's you're screwing with the biological female athletes by bringing in a trans female. So I totally agree with the track and field governing body. This is a no-brainer. I don't care how many hormones you take or estrogen or testosterone, whatever it is. You were born male. There's going to be physical advantages, bone structure, body structure, everything. So, no, it's simple. I totally agree with the world governing body of track and field approving cheek swabs, searching for a Y chromosome. So you'd have a trans female that would be disqualified if that's the case because they were born male. That makes total sense. What I don't get is how, are you that much of a competitor and that you don't get I transitioned from male to female. Great. I'm all for it. But you have an advantage over females in sports. This is like so obvious. This is the kind of stuff that kills Democrats and hyper liberals. This is one of their main problems. There was a great conversation about this on, I think it was Bill Maher's show either last week or a few weeks ago. Liberal problems seem to not want to control immigration, right or wrong. Liberals will want to argue with you and kind of tell you how it is. Let me explain what I think. It's like the Republicans are just like, throw bacon on a hot skillet, it sizzles, but not all this explanation and I'm more intelligent than you. Let me explain. Adults don't want things explained to them, especially politics. They want it simple and obvious. So it seems like liberals don't want to control immigration. Extremist views about race. Like, let's take Lincoln's name off of schools, for example. Is there another human being in the history of planet Earth that had more of a significant influence on getting rid of slavery, and not just in the United States, around the world, and it still exists around the world, but had the biggest impact of getting rid of it than Abraham Lincoln? Seriously. Maybe there is someone. He's in the top 3 to 5, right? Friggin' American president where slavery was everywhere, had a civil war. Saw us through that. Yeah, take Lincoln's name off the schools. Another example of extremist views about race, Latinx. No Latino asked for that. A man or female that's Latino is Latino. A male is Latino. The female is Latina. But as a group, they're Latinos, like mankind. You put a WO in front of man, women. It's basically the same concept. There's no Latino anywhere that said, hey, let's make it Latinx because we're discriminating against the Latinas by saying Latino when we should be saying Latinos and Latinas. That's obvious. It's like mankind. It's men and women. So these liberals in America that have no Latino blood running through their body at all, hey, we're going to come up with Latinx. Latinos like, what? They're like, no, we're not embracing Latinx. It's gone away. but it was an experiment by the liberal population. Yeah, they think boys shouldn't compete with girls in sports. That's a problem. And children should have their sex reassigned, which is a problem. My God, there's so many examples of folks that are straight, gay, and bisexual, whatever, that are like, man, when I was 8, 10, 12, confused about my sexuality. And then when I became an adult, I realized, hey, I'm gay, I'm bisexual, whatever. It's mind-blowing. Like at 8, 10, or 12, they might have made a decision to transition over and done hormones and maybe even some kind of surgery. I mean, just mind-blowing. You're going to let a child decide something that, while their brain and body's growing, you're going to pump chemicals in to change their physical body and mess with their brain. They're going to make a decision while they're growing, where they're not adults yet. No, that's where liberals, those are great examples of where liberals have lost the average American, without a doubt. Every day, this program on radio, on television, on YouTube, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner, home of Lamarck Ford for over 45 years. Lamarck Lincoln, #1 in the state. And those black Lincoln SUVs are so nice. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner, and also Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway in Elmwood.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITAM.com.
The Woodhouse Days, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now a day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Waterman Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. Send installation sale. Call 469-6. Get on the phone at Audubon Gutters.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Stay in New Orleans is something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian. Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better star restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's. Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine. There's
And Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young, call 288-8381. On at Young's Dry Cleaning.
Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans for 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and bread on his head. As New Orleans is coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Boy, what a great night to dine outside at Lebanon's Cafe. Enjoy lamb chops and shish kebab outside under green awning, under the oak trees, on the streetcar line. Carrollton and Jeanette in between Claiborne's and the Riverbend, where Carrollton Avenue is one lane each direction. Wonderful Lebanon's Cafe. Hey, you old Metairie, old Jefferson Parish folks, however long it takes you to get to Causeway and River Road, add about 4 minutes to your trip here at Lebanon's Cafe. Like 4 minutes from River Road and Causeway. You just beeline down River Road, cross the tracks in Orleans Parish, go down Oak Street to Carrollton, hook a left on Carrollton, 3 blocks down on your left. You can't miss the big green awning, Lebanon's Cafe. Outdoor dining. Incredible weather. It's like 79 degrees. Just like yesterday, I was walking Tolly, and yesterday when I was walking about this, that you're going to be happy walking. But I was carrying a bag of poop, and I thought to myself, there's got to be a better thing to do than carry this bag of poop. So then I turned it into a positive. Yeah, but you're walking Tolly, and it's a wonderful afternoon. But you're holding a bag of poop. When I was a kid, you just left it on the lawn, just how it was. When I was a kid, every, 5 or 10 years, you dove for a football and landed in a pile of poop. Just how it is as a child. Sliding into first, poop. About once every 5 or 10 years. I think I got poop on my arm or my hand, like total childhood. And there was no signs, clean up your dog poop. But then someone started it, and it's taken off. I do have a big lot at the end of my block that the homeowner owns, but he's always like, dude, you can let your dog do whatever. Don't pick it up. I'm like, fantastic. So I always rush Tolly. Hang on, buddy. Let's get to the end of the block. I got bags in my pocket, but I'd rather not carry around, you guessed it, a bag of poop. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Where else do you get this kind of talk? It's just incredible talk radio. Corey was talking about a bag of poop. Enlightening. Riveting. I'm trying to get a doctor's appointment for my knee. No, I did not have any luck getting the appointment, but I will try again tomorrow morning. I got a little left knee problem, Latinx.
Oh, no.
Brothers.
That sounds awful.
We might call him Latinx. We're trying to figure out a name. I had a guy, I can't even tell you his name, Mario. At least I know your name. He came in from Utah. And, I met him and I knew his name day one. But I soon forgot it. And I just started calling him Johnny Utah from that, the surfing movie.
Yes.
Where he's the cop. Utah in that movie, there's no Johnny Utah anywhere on planet Earth. Is anyone's last name Utah? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think spelled U-T-A-W, but maybe his wasn't. Maybe it was like E-W-T-A-H or something. Anyway, so I called this kid Johnny Utah. If I saw him, I'd be like, Johnny Utah, what's up? My name's Freddie McGill. I have no idea what his name is. Have no clue. So you're making progress, Mario, on like day 2 that I'm actually know your first name.
We'll take it. You're saying to correct you, not hit me with a Mario. So.
Mario, yeah, it's just yatty as it gets.
Yeah,
it's Mario.
That and people from the north, yes.
Mario, wow. Anyway, yeah, we need to come up with a nickname, Latinx. Oh, that's so stupid.
I kind of liked it.
No, not your name, nickname. That'd be a great rapper name for some Latin guy.
Latinx.
Latinx, EX. But maybe a big E, a small X, or a small E and a large X. How would you spell Latin, though? A different way than Latin.
We'll workshop it. Maybe an E.
Yeah. Maybe some Y in there.
Yes.
TYN. Latin X.
Ooh, now you're cooking.
Yep.
Me gusta.
Is he going to have like all Spanish? Is it going to be English, or you want him to have like the kind of what do they call it? Spanglish.
Spanglish.
You want him to have that kind of I'm first generation Latino here. You want him to have that a little bit.
Spanglish is a good thing.
Yep. Since we went into the first generation Latino, I'm going to do some first generation Asian accents right now. Oh, wow. That's when the FCC calls and you're not on the air the next day for some silly reason. You can't do anything anymore. You can't make it fun with accents of people. You can't leave the dog poop on the lawn. It's ridiculous. Come on. Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, Ricky Twigs Jr. joined us. He's running for mayor. I'll give any candidate a few minutes that's running for mayor, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be a lot of Elena Moreno. That's going to be the big deal. And hopefully one of these candidates can say, I want equal time. I run for council law. I'm doing my radio show. First, if I ever run again, I'm continuing to do my radio show. There's no law that says I can. There's an ethics board, and they recommend you don't. You're getting an unfair advantage. You got to give people equal time. I'll let them come on if they want, but I'm going to continue doing my job. So I literally I had to get, I think it was 13 people running against me for council at large. I had to get them to sign a thing saying I could keep doing my show. I came in 5th or 6th place in that race. The top 3, 4, 5 candidates, all political names, they signed right away. Dork who came literally like in 12th was like, when you get everyone else's signature, I'll sign. I'm like, dude, you're going to get a dozen votes. I mean, I didn't tell him that, but that's what I was thinking. Really? I got to wait to get you last when you're going to get a dozen votes? Anyway. What's that, Blue Boy? You just keep doing your show because that's your job. And if people demand equal time, give them some equal time. I hear you. Because a lot of the time I wouldn't be talking about my run for mayor or whatever. I would just be doing my show. You're brilliant, Blue Boy. You know what you're talking about. Thank you, Latinx. Thank you, Miss Peaches. Mañana, 4 p.m. Be there. It's Mario.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.